Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'd. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Maulana Muhammadin wa ala ali Sayyidina Maulana Muhammadin wa barik wa sallam. First is an announcement. Inshallah, we're going to be changing the time 10 minutes ahead. So whatever we have advertised, 10 minutes ahead. So it's already 8:50 from now, inshallah, Isha. And then the second 10 days will be 9 o'clock. And the last third 10 days, it will be 9:10 p.m., inshallah. Inshallah, so I'm going to mention something about Ramadan first. About iftar, it's very rewarding to give people iftar. There's a hadith, right, in regards to that. The hadith says that whoever feeds anybody, even if it be a small amount of a sip of water, then you attain the reward of the fasting person. And also gifting, it creates love and harmony between one another. So we should practice upon that, gifting one another in terms of food, here in particular in iftar. But we have to make sure that it's halal, make sure it's completely 100% halal. Either it's a meat that you have slaughtered yourself and you brought that level, or either it's HMS or Hafsa. If you go to our YouTube channel, there's a lecture on halal somewhere there, and it's about about halal, how is halal in America. So it has to be HMS or Hafsa certified, not any other certification. Or you slaughtered it yourself at the farm. So it has to be this very high level caution we should take, because obviously it's a month of Ramadan, we don't want to lose from our worship. So be mindful of eating yourself. And so to practice upon that hadith that says that when you feed people, you can send food over to people's homes. That's the best way to do it. Send it over, but it's make sure halal certified food to family and friends, and create that harmony and love between another. And the criteria should be that you don't miss salah at the masjid. So no iftar, the iftar parties, the only ones that you can go to are the ones that you're going to get to Isha prayer. And you're going to make Maghrib Salah in Jama'ah. Okay, that's it. Sometimes masajid have iftar near the masjid, and the reason they do that is to attract people to come into the masjid. That's the purpose why they keep it there. The iftar is around the masjid. The reason they do it is so that people show up at the masjid and they're encouraged to pray Taraweeh Salah. So everyone's got the rule? Yeah. Sometimes we take the rule in the wrong way. Sometimes we just start doing, if iftar is such a, we start doing iftar parties. And then when people do iftar party, then they don't come for Taraweeh after that. Right? Because you're too busy with your iftar party. That's not the purpose. The purpose was the other way around. It was just so that you get the reward. And that reward doesn't have to be that we all get together in one place. You can actually just send food over to people's homes. That's that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq. Create love and harmony. No grudges in the heart. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unite us. Inshallah. Sometimes, one thing about unity is very important in Islam. So much so that even if we have brothers who are innovating in Islam like that, we don't fight with them. Right? We know that they're wrong. Our Muslim brothers who are wrong, we still don't fight with them. We just know that they're wrong. We stick to the truth ourselves, and we know that they're wrong. But we don't create we don't hold grudges or say negative things about them or try to create a hostile environment. Now coming to the book, yesterday we talked about Tilawatul Quran, right? That was which principle? That was the fifth principle. Okay, Tilawatul Quran, fifth principle. Today is the sixth night. So today is going to be which principle? Sixth principle. About Tilawatul Quran, if there's anyone who doesn't know how to recite the Quran, you should, we do have very nice classes. Inshallah, they run from Ramadan to Ramadan. We have children's classes, we have 3 levels classes. Alhamdulillah, we've tried to advance our classes in the past years. Please join them. We have a very nice session for adults. We also have a very nice session for the sisters as well. We are well accommodating of the sister side. So whoever needs help with recitation, memorization of Quran, join those classes. Join those classes. When you're talib ilm, when you seek knowledge, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes your pathway to Jannah easier. So who doesn't want to be part of that process? The best way to be a Muslim is to be a student of knowledge of Islam. And best way to learn is not from social media and YouTube, is actually in person. Is how? In person with physical. And we have so many teachers now throughout the US, proper teachers who can teach. So everyone should be part of this, inshallah. So learn that recitation of Quran. Also about recitation of Quran, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal rahimahullah, he saw in his dream, he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what brings a human being close? The most strongest way to get close to Allah is by recitation of Quran. Then he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with understanding the Quran or just by recitation? He said both. The response was with both. Then inshallah, so coming to today's point, is dhikr of Allah. The sixth principle is dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I'll go ahead and read the hadith. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states, make the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in great abundance so that you may be successful. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala morning and evening is better than brandishing swords in the path of Allah and giving wealth in great abundance. But if you gave lots of charity, still dhikr of Allah morning and evening is superior. Or if you went into warfare for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, true warfare for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, still dhikr of Allah morning and evening is more superior. So subhanAllah, what an amazing reward for remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala morning and evening. Then Imam Ghazali rahimahullah mentions that there's different layers of dhikr of Allah. There are 4 stages, he calls 4 stages. He said one stage is that you do it just with the tongue. You say La ilaha illallah and you do it. The second stage, he says, is with the heart. You remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with your heart. And then the third stage is, what's the third stage? Is where you, if you don't want to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're always remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It becomes automatic for you. Like no matter what you're doing, you're always remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he goes, the fourth stage is the final stage, may Allah take us there, which is that you always see everything is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning you see that the manifestation, because everything is in the command of Allah, everything moves by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you're constantly always, that everything is the manifestation of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this dhikr, by the way, it's a huge field in Islam. There are 2 big, 1/3 of Islam is dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and 1/3 is Islamic law. Those who specialize in Islamic law, they spend their entire lives to try to understand Islamic law. And those who study dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in depth, they spend their entire lives for it. So we should make an effort to go to majalis, to sit with people who could teach us about the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? And then there's great reward. People who are dhakirin, they have great stations with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of the dhakirin.